And we are up and running. It's a beautiful day here in the Midwest, and storm clouds on the horizon, but isn't that what it's all about, is learning how to manage stormy weather in our lives as we go back to a place of complete non-duality. How are you this morning, Barrett?
Feeling pretty non-dual today.
Well, that's a good thing. As long as you're not casting a shadow, then things are working.
Well, I have to go outside to see if that's the case. So.
Kind of a Groundhog Day sort of day.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. I think Bill Murray is a comedic genius, and I think that was one of his high points. So I actually own that one, and I watch it pretty frequently.
Oh, awesome. Because I think maybe that should be the next one we review when we do our At the Movies series.
I'm down with that. That is a classic. It's very near to my heart.
Very cool. Well, our listeners have something to look forward to. That Puxtatani Phil and his enigma of 6 weeks or an early spring. So who knows?
That's right. That's right. Bill Murray, he gets trapped, and we'll see if he gets out this time.
Yeah. Well, since there's only one of us here, we can definitely take this one personally and recognize that we need to wake up to our belief that we are sinners.
Yeah. Wake up to that belief and realize that is all BS. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I think it's very appropriate, and I think that's really what we're shouting from the rooftops here is, ultimately you get to that plateau where you recognize that all you need to do is just say God is, and then drop the mic and walk off the stage.
I think that'd be pretty good, like become, get to be one of these speakers at a Course in Miracles conference and just walk out there, God is, and walk away and come back maybe a few minutes later, see if anyone's still there.
That would be great. Although I think that might invoke a little bit of ire on behalf of the people who have paid, but that's the whole point, is that all that you're paying for is not giving you what you want or expect.
It does remind me actually of a time I went to go see Eckhart Tolle. He came here to Chicago, and there were a few hundred people there all gathered to watch him. And at the time for his talk, he comes out on the stage and he sits down in the chair and he sits and he sits. And after maybe like 2 minutes, something like that, he says into the microphone, "Did you expect something to happen?" It was pretty great.
That's perfect. It definitely brings us back to, living in the moment. And that was his big thing with the power of now.
Yeah, that was a big aha for me when I read his book. I think I hadn't gotten into the Course yet, but I was definitely working on a lot of different spiritual ideas. And, that was the first book that really so clearly stated and helped me understand that the time is not real. I was like, oh man, wow.
That is a mind-expanding recognition. And, that's, again, a big first step in recognizing what truth actually is, and then even being able to discard the whole idea of truth and just move into being. So really there is no truth. Ultimately there is only I am.
Yeah, and as Popeye said, I am what I am.
Yes, and spinach enhances your I amness.
Is it the vitamin, what does it have, vitamin D or something?
It's loaded with vitamin D, and it's got lots of iron. So, you get the minerals, the vitamins, and if you're not careful, you get the baby too.
I missed something here.
Well, Popeye in his pursuit of life, all of a sudden a baby shows up in his world, and him and Olive Oil are thrust into the position of being parents. And that really is kind of an interesting image or set of images, because at some point we are thrust into the position of being parents to ourselves. And it goes in that direction of awakening to the idea that child is father to the man.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I think, throughout the course, there's all these ideas about the Son of God and the Father. And I think at first when people hear Son of God, we usually think of Jesus, right? Because he's described that way so much in the Bible. And but the message throughout the course is that all of us are the Son of God, that you are the Son of God, I am the Son of God, that the Son of God is the collective allness that we just think is separate, we think is apart. And it's really awakening to that deeper message of what the Son of God is, that we do start to get to know what the Father is, what God is, and that experience that we're all looking for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then that allows us to land on the doorstep of the great paradox. Ultimately, we have to come to the recognition that there is no Son of God. There is only God. You just drop the mic and walk off the stage.
We're going to be doing a lot of mic dropping.
Yeah, well, at least, if you insure your mic when you buy it, then you can replace it without a lot of objections.
That reminds me of the recent Verizon commercial where I don't even remember what they were advertising, something about Verizon. He basically says Verizon has the best network, and then he drops a mic, and then all of a sudden he pulls another one out from his jacket, and he says a few more things, and then he drops the mic again. And I don't know, we could just keep dropping it.
And that's what we're doing here. We're just playing out that same fear-laden issue dressed up in different clothes over and over and over again. The insane idea that we manage to somehow to separate ourselves from God, and God is lurking in the bushes, ready to just kick our butts.
Which actually fits really well into our topic for today. As we continue through the Song of Prayer pamphlet, we've been discussing forgiveness and the different ways that we think of forgiveness, and now we're on the section called Forgiveness to Destroy, which is basically Jesus talking about how the ego uses the concept of forgiveness for its own purposes. We all have these different ideas about what forgiveness is, and a big part of the course is really helping us to let go of those other ideas so that we can adopt true forgiveness, which, as we've been talking about together, is really letting go of all the ideas of separation, realizing that there is no victim, there is no victimizer, there's no one to blame because there's nothing to blame anyone for. And then stepping back into that sense of oneness, and also asking for Holy Spirit's or Jesus's help to look at all of this through that eyes, the perspective of love and kindness. So, but on our journey to that, he's going to point out some of the pitfalls that we have on our way. And the first one, again, is talking about some different aspects of forgiveness to destroy. And he starts off here by saying, forgiveness to destroy has many forms, being a weapon of the world of form. Not all of them are obvious, and some are carefully concealed beneath what seems like charity. Yet all the forms that it may seem to take have but this single goal. Their purpose is to separate and make what God created equal different. The difference is clear in several forms where the designed comparison cannot be missed, nor is it really meant to be. So again, all of these things have in common the purpose of reinforcing the separation, where true forgiveness's purpose is to undo the separation and to help us come back into that state of peace, joy, happiness that is our truth.